I really thought this would be easy. Like genuinely easy. Just don't spend money for 72 hours. That's it. No complicated rules, no pressure. Just don't open your wallet. Don't tap your phone. How hard can that be? But I was wrong. And not in a small way. In a way that slowly gets under your skin. In a way that makes you uncomfortable. In a way that forces you to sit with thoughts you usually ignore. Because somewhere between hunger, silence, and saying no one too many times, this stopped feeling like a challenge and started feeling like a reality check. This is Chris, and Chris isn't broke. He isn't careless. He's not someone who just throws money away without thinking. He's actually trying, like really trying, to do better, to save more, to feel in control. But every single month, it's the same story. Salary comes in, a few days pass, and somehow, it's gone. Not completely gone, but enough to make him pause. Enough to make him think, what am I doing wrong? And that question, that quiet frustration, is what made him try this. No spending for 72 hours. No excuses. No just this once. No backup plan. Just him and his habits. The first few hours felt almost peaceful. Chris walked around his room, calm, relaxed, even a little proud, like he had already figured something out that others hadn't. This is simple, he thought. People just don't control themselves. There was some leftover food in the fridge, water on the table, his phone in his hand. Everything felt normal. Too normal. Time passed, slowly, quietly. Nothing really changed. And that's the strange part, because in the beginning, it doesn't feel like a challenge. It feels like control. But then, something small happened. Not big, not dramatic, just small. A notification. Your favorite meal, just $4.99. Chris looked at his phone, just for a second, maybe two, not because he was starving, but because it felt so easy, so natural, so normal. Just one tap, that's all it takes. And in that tiny moment, something shifted inside him. He realized something he had never really noticed before. Spending money today doesn't require effort, but not spending actually does. He locked his phone, put it aside, told himself, "It's fine, I don't need it." But the truth? It didn't feel fine, because now the thought was there. A few hours later, his phone buzzed again. This time, it wasn't an ad. It was his friend's. "Hey, we're going out tonight. You coming?" Chris stared at the screen, longer than he should have. His fingers moved, typing, deleting, typing again, stopping. Because this wasn't about money anymore. This was about people, about laughter, about moments, about not being the one who stays behind. He could already imagine it, sitting there, eating, talking, laughing, feeling normal. And for a second, he almost said yes. But then, the rule came back. No spending. And slowly, almost reluctantly, he typed, "Not today." The moment he hit send, something felt off. The room didn't change, but it felt quieter. Chris leaned back, staring at the ceiling, his phone still in his hand, and for the first time, this didn't feel like discipline. It felt like distance. He opened social media just to distract himself, and that's when it got worse. There they were, his friends, smiling, eating, enjoying, and without even realizing it, he whispered, "Am I saving money, or am I missing my life?" That question stayed. It didn't go away. It sat there, quietly, in the background. After 24 hours, one full day, Chris hadn't spent a single dollar. On paper, that sounds like a win. But inside, it didn't feel like one. The fridge was empty now. Not almost empty, actually empty. He opened it, stared, hoping maybe something was left. Something small, something he forgot. Nothing. He closed it slowly, like maybe closing it gently would change something. It didn't. His stomach felt heavy, his energy low. But more than that, his mind felt tired. Because now, everything required effort. What can I eat? What should I do? How do I get through this without spending? And that's when something deeper started to become clear. This isn't just about money. This is about how life works. Coffee isn't just coffee. It's routine. Food isn't just food. It's comfort. Going out isn't just spending. It's connection. And without money, all of that starts to feel far away. Chris stepped outside, hoping a walk would help, hoping fresh air would clear his mind. But it didn't. Because everywhere he looked, something was asking for money. A coffee shop on the corner, people sitting inside relaxed. A food truck with a line of people laughing. Stores, lights on, doors open, inviting. It didn't feel aggressive. That's the problem. It felt normal. And when something feels normal, you don't question it, you just follow it. Time passed, slower than before. Chris sat down again, back against the wall, eyes half closed, not even scrolling anymore, just sitting there, thinking, feeling the silence, feeling the hunger, feeling the weight of every small decision. And then it happened. No big breakdown, no dramatic moment, just quiet. I can't do this. He picked up his phone, slowly, opened a food app, stared at the screen for a few seconds, and then ordered something simple. When the food arrived, he didn't rush. He didn't feel excited. He just sat there, looking at it, like it meant something more than just food. He took a bite, slowly, quietly, and what he felt wasn't happiness. It wasn't satisfaction. It was relief. Pure, simple relief, like pressure being released. And in that moment, a thought stayed with him, a very honest one. If it's this hard to not spend for a short time, then how is anyone supposed to save? For years, Chris didn't feel like he failed. He felt like he finally understood something real. That maybe it's not just about discipline. Maybe it's about the world we live in. A world where everything is fast, easy, convenient, and almost always paid. A world where spending is normal and saving feels like resistance. And in that kind of world, of course it's hard. But maybe the answer isn't to fight harder. Maybe it's to understand better. To notice the moment before you spend. To notice how you feel. Bored, tired, stressed. To notice the patterns you repeat every single day. Because most of the time, you're not spending because you need something. You're spending because of how you feel. And once you see that, things don't change overnight, but they start to change. Slowly, quietly, naturally. Chris didn't make it to 72 hours, but he didn't walk away empty. He walked away with clarity. And sometimes, clarity is more powerful than discipline. Because once you understand what's really happening, you stop fighting blindly and you start choosing differently. One small decision at a time. And if somewhere in this story you saw yourself, even a little, then maybe this wasn't just Chris's story. Maybe it's yours too. And if you want more real, honest stories like this, no pressure, but you can subscribe, and I'll keep sharing these moments, the kind that actually make you stop and think.